Hello and welcome to Real vs. Real, Ghosts, Legends, and Oddities of the Internet. It has been quite some time since I made a new video for this series, but items interesting enough for us to look at have been fairly scarce. Originally, I planned on making this video about one specific phenomenon, particularly ghosts caught on baby monitors, but then realized that there were some recent developments that also needed addressed. I know a lot of my longtime viewers are aware of what this video series is. However, we've been getting a lot of new members to the cryptid family as of late. So, in these uploads, we look at popular videos and still images of supposed paranormal activity and try to uncover if it is real, or if it is real as in a movie real, meaning fake. So, let's start off with a recent image that has been making its rounds all over the internet and social media. On May 21st, this image was captured on the CCTV cameras around 1:25 in the morning at the Amarillo Zoo. According to the story, the facility was really uncertain as to what this image showed, but posted it to their social media with the hopes that someone would be able to identify it. As with most things cryptids, mainstream media tends to only know a few cryptid names, and they immediately started to claim that it was possibly a chupacabra. Honestly, the first article I saw on this topic didn't even include an image of the creature, and as soon as I saw the label chupacabra, I assumed I would simply be seeing a mangy dog. I did lose interest at first, but decided to at least look up the image when the description was given that it was walking around on its hind legs. We all know that from looking at the picture that it doesn't even somewhat resemble the chupacabra, or even the fake dog-like version. My first thoughts were that it either looked like a dogman, a skinwalker, or a person wearing a wolf pelt, which, coincidentally, is exactly what skinwalkers originally were. Either way, I was fairly intrigued by what I saw. So, in light of our topic, is this real, or real, i.e. fake? I'm going to say that this is a real, unphotoshopped image, but it is a fake event. After the story emerged, there were some troubling things brought up about it. First off, all we have is one still image, and it was admitted that it was part of a video. As of making this, the zoo has yet to provide the actual video clip, which is very curious, especially since they claim they want help identifying it. However, later reports now claim that this wasn't a video, but an image caught on a motion sensor device, much like a trail cam. This is sort of suspicious how the story changed, but we will give them the benefit of the doubt, assuming that maybe the media were the ones who wrongfully claimed it was a video. The second thing I discovered is that, from the responses, most people were more shocked that Amarillo had a zoo than by the identity of the supposed creature. From what I gather, it is a rather small facility, and this does seem like something that could be done to gain exposure, especially during these tough economic times. The real issue emerged recently in an interview with the City of Amarillo's Director of Parks and Recreation. In his statement about the image, it was said that, and I quote, "We just want to let the Amarillo community have fun with this." The moment I saw this, it became clear that it was more than likely a publicity stunt, but in the vein of it being real. Wink wink. The zoo is still adamant that the footage is very real. They even state that no animals were harmed, the creature didn't leave any tracks, and it didn't appear to attempt to break into the park. So, while I feel it is more than likely fake, it is quite possible someone else decided to play a prank on them without their knowledge. Just playing devil's advocate here. Although I will say, even though I am not a fan of hoaxers, I do have a huge soft spot for animals. So, it still may be worth your while supporting the zoo if you're in the area. I mean, look at the face of Quill Porky Smith, a three-legged porcupine that they had rescued. Moving on to our next entry, we find the video that started the whole idea for making of this upload. Around May 24th, a video was uploaded to my least favorite of social media platforms, TikTok. Under the name of @RenMame, a video was posted by the parents of a baby that appeared to catch something really weird happening around the crib while everyone was asleep. As you see, near the beginning of the video, there is obviously something moving the mattress on the side of the crib. Then, moments later, what appears to be two long fingers moving in a spider fashion emerges and start clawing at the bed unbeknownst to the child. It is at this moment the father gets up, roused from his sleep, but what we can only assume is the sounds from the creature. When I first saw this, it gave me a serious case of the chills, just due to how creepy it was. The other thing is that I thought it was a really good setup, where we can simultaneously see footage happening inside the crib, and a separate camera showing us what's going on outside of that. I really felt that this is exactly the way we need to have ghost footage, with all bases covered, with cameras covering all angles. So with all that said, is this real or real, i.e. fake? Obviously, with me making those statements, this footage is going to be ruled real or fake. Sorry to trick you there, but it actually served as an example of why I feel this video isn't real. In a sense, I was showing you one thing, but something completely different was going on in the background. Without being around the bush too much, I congratulate the family for attempting to try to make a very realistic haunting, but it appears a mistake was made. While watching the outside footage, it is pointed out that the mattress is moving, but fails to note anything about the hand showing up. Many assume that this is possibly a cat or even someone hiding under the bed, but we don't see any of that on the zoomed out version. Not only this, but in looking at how the baby is sleeping, the arrow pointing to the mattress movement is in the wrong spot. The arrow points to the movement being at the foot of the bed, while it is shown to be at the baby's shoulder in the close-up video. I also find it odd that the light on the crib is so bright that we can hardly even see the baby, but in the close-up footage, it appears to be a night shot with normal night vision. I'm not a camera expert, and it certainly has been a long time since our kids were babies, but most night vision technology that I'm familiar with doesn't handle bright lights too well, as we see with the zoomed out version, the baby appearing as a blurred out white blob. What I think was done was that it was two separate recordings that were stitched together to appear as one continuous shot. In that, the crib recording was at another point of the night, or possibly even a different day, and edited together with another recording of the zoomed out version. I don't really have an answer as to how the mattress was being moved, other than to say if they were willing to fake footage, then they very easily could have had someone under the crib pushing up on the mattress. I find it interesting how it was done in a way that wouldn't disturb the baby. First at the foot of the bed, far away from the child, then very slightly on the edge of the bars behind the infant. What really hurts this whole production for me is that at an earlier date, May 21st, the same user uploaded the first recording showing similar activity. The only difference this time is that we don't have the outside shot, and the fingers look very much human, as in flesh and blood and not a ghost. I have personally seen my fair share of ghosts in my life, and I know that they can appear as both spectral and very solid. My problem is that this quote-unquote ghost appears to be showing up just trying to be a TikTok star, and really doesn't seem to have any genuine interest in the baby. Another thing to note is that prior to these videos, the user saw decent views, although it is hard to tell how many were added after the ghost video went viral. However, each ghost upload has garnered millions of views, yet it does seem to be slowing down. The latest video, which isn't about ghosts, has 27,000 views, so I expect we'll see something ghost related pretty soon. In looking into this account, I found that they have posted a few videos on this topic, but all fall under the same explanation as previously stated. In one such video, they catch what appears to be arms reaching out from under the bed. For those still on the fence, I was perusing over a few comments from the very first video, and I found this. It would appear not everyone in the house is all for taking the activity seriously. The next one I would like to present came from a viewer of the channel named Matthew, who provided me a link to a really weird image. I have actually been holding on to this information for quite some time, hoping to be able to make something about it, and luckily, today is that day. It was uploaded on July 13th, 2018, and it was captured by a trail camera set up to get images of wolf packs crossing the border of Germany to the Netherlands. What it depicts is, well, a strange creature holding what appears to be a spear while riding a boar. What makes this odd is that in old Germanic and Norse lore, the goddess Freyr is said to ride a boar named Gudlin or Golden Bristles. This is a really random piece of lore that I'm not sure a lot of people are familiar with, so that certainly helps this image's validity. So, is this real or real? While I honestly am not certain which one it is, I will err on the side of caution and say it is real, as in fake. This was a hard ruling for me, since as stated, this isn't a widespread story that many are familiar with. The other thing is that I did an in-depth search, and that image was first uploaded from the very link that was given to me. Oddly enough, the original poster was very active in the comments, and claimed that when he first started talking about the images, the site utilized was shut down, and most of his files were confiscated. Now, I would love to think that there is some being out there riding around on a mythical boar, but a few details about the story really drove me to the idea that this was fake. First and foremost, this whole segment was posted to 4chan, which is known to be the breeding ground for many paranormal hoaxes still being passed around today. For example, it is the site where the infamous rake was created back in 2005 under the heading of "Let's Make a New Monster." If that isn't bad enough, I find it super suspicious that this whole story and image were uploaded on July 13th, which happens to be Friday the 13th. To me, utilizing that day is just as suspicious as if it were posted on April 1st. While I love the image and enjoy learning about lore that I was unaware of, I feel it seems too out there for me to consider it a real image. On a side note, thank you, Matthew, for bringing it to my attention. Finally, our last one isn't so much of a real versus real, but more of a warning to those who try to find weird footage. In late October of 2019, a woman named Maritza from Illinois caught something concerning on her baby monitor. On that night, she happened to look at the screen and saw what appeared to be a ghostly image of another baby in the crib with her sleeping infant. Apparently, she was so freaked out that when she attempted to investigate, she lost her nerve and eventually caused her issues trying to fall asleep. I couldn't locate the video, but here is a still image of what she saw. So, is this real or real? This is 100% real or fake. The reason I'm even presenting you this story is due to how many places are still showing it off as real ghost footage, even though the answer behind the mystery was solved almost immediately. The day after Maritza saw the video, she went into the baby's room and realized that her husband had forgotten to put the cover over the bed. It just so happened that on this mattress was a tag from the manufacturer that hadn't been removed, and it depicted the image of a baby. Without the extra cover, it was visible through the sheets. This information was provided in just about every article that covered the story. However, I found a large percentage of videos showing this footage as proof of a ghost being in a baby crib. So I felt the need to include it, if not simply just to do my part of informing everyone that this story has long since been debunked. So in ending this, I hope you enjoyed it, and I'm curious what your thoughts are on the images shown. I normally don't like making this type of video where all the topics are fake, but I sort of have to play whatever hand I am given. Especially since actual intriguing videos and decent photos are rather hard to come by. If you haven't yet done so, do please consider subscribing to my channel for more content like this. Also, it would be greatly appreciated if you share my videos with someone you know who may enjoy this type of genre. With that, be safe, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.